Welcome to Subscriber Dynasty Recruiting. Now this is a little mini series. We're going to reset next season, so I don't have a problem showing who I'm going to recruit because it doesn't matter because we're not going to have them anyway. But we're going to go through a whole season of recruiting, and I'm kind of excuse me. I'm going to kind of break down what I do when I recruit. I get tons of messages on Twitter, messages on YouTube, saying, hey, how do you recruit in this situation? What would you do? I got these two players, blah, blah. And I kind of, give my advice or whatever. But one of the things we're going to do is I'm just going to go through the whole thing. Some videos are going to be shorter than others, but there will be a recruiting episode that I'm calling it like a supplemental. So for every Subscriber Dynasty video that's out, there is going to be a recruiting video with it. Now, it might only be 2 minutes. It might be 30 minutes. It just depends. Some are going to be longer than others. I wrote down just my rules. This is not, if you follow this, you're going to get every recruit that you want, or this is the right way to recruit, or even this is the most optimal way. I don't even know what the most optimal way is. The only thing that I know is I know how to recruit, and the way I use works. You can go watch all the Subscriber Dynasty series that I've shown recruits. I get good recruits year in, year out, no matter what team I'm with. Rule number 1, you're not going to get every recruit that you want. That's just hands down. There's going to be some guys that you're just not going to be able to get. Number 2, the computer cheats. There have been times that the computer, when it gets to where it locks out people, the computer's like, plus 7,000 points, and it wasn't even a visit. Like, there's no possible mathematical way that they could have gotten 7,000 points. But they do. I've posted pictures on Twitter and stuff like that going, what the fuck? Number 3, recruit to your play style. If you're, run like a pro style offense, don't need so much of a scrambling quarterback or whatever it is, recruit that way. Recruit on offense, how you play call on offense. Recruit on defense, how you play call on defense. So it doesn't matter if that recruit's an 80 and it doesn't fit your play style on offense or defense, save the points, go get something else, because it's not going to help you out. And yeah, you're going to have an 80 overall freshman, but if he doesn't fit what you're going to use him for, he's not going to help you out all that much. Number 4, know when you've lost a recruit. Take the points off of him, put him on somebody else, and just know when there's not a way you can catch up, and who can you get with the points that you're going to get that you would have been putting on him. Who do you have a better chance to get? And that kind of falls into number 5. It's kind of the same thing. Know who you can't get. If there's somebody there and you're 8,000 points behind and it's like week 5 or 6, it's time to put your points elsewhere. So try to remember those things when you're recruiting. And I haven't done anything. I don't know what kind of players we need. I don't even know what recruits are out there. But first thing you need to do, go through here in redshirt. What I done a lot at Oklahoma State when we first done it, and at Ole Miss way back, I would write down, quarterback like this here. I'll show you here. We'll go to let's see if I can go to the depth chart. Is there a depth chart here? Yes. So I would go in here and I would go through here and go, okay, senior 87 overall, senior 89, freshman 86. Which that means to me, I need a quarterback. Okay, then you go over to halfback and go, okay, sophomore 84, junior 83, sophomore 81, sophomore 77. I don't need any running backs for like 3 years. So you got your depth chart in order. You got all your red shirt stuff. I'm not going to red shirt anybody. Everybody's going to be on the deal. There's no sense in red shirt, and we are resetting next year. Now, if you're in a dynasty that's not resetting, go in there, redshirt people. I mean, like I said, it's self-explanatory. I'm not going to go over it. First thing you need to look at is your team needs. So go over here, check this out. Now this here, it says I have 2 senior quarterbacks and 2 freshman quarterbacks. But actually know who you actually need. And this comes into play more with defensive line and offensive line. Like, yes, it says we need a tackle, but do we really need a tackle, or is there a guard that we can move the tackle, or somebody that's a backup center that we can move to tackle? Like, do we really need one? Kickers. Do we really need a kicker, or can we make the punter a kicker? Let's flip over on the defense. We need a defensive tackle, and we need outside linebackers and a strong safety. Okay, so jot those down on a piece of paper or remember them, and then go to your. This one here is going to be a little bit of a long episode, but bear with me. This will help you out if you're not already doing this. Okay. So it says we need a defensive tackle. We don't need a defensive tackle. Okay, we have 3. We have a junior and 2 freshmen. Outside linebacker, we have 3 already. So you go in your depth chart and you look now. Strong safety, we only have 1. We're going to need a strong safety. We don't necessarily need a defensive tackle. We've already seen the depth chart. I mean, look how many we got. We have 9 defensive ends. We can move defensive ends to defensive tackles if some of them have a great block shredding or those kind of stats that'll be okay for a defensive tackle. Okay, strength and block shredding are great stats for a defensive tackle. 2 seniors at defensive tackle, but then the freshman backup's an 81, and then another freshman backup that's an 80. We really don't need a defensive tackle. Like the game's saying we need a defensive tackle, you don't really need a defensive tackle in this situation. Like if there's a good one that's out there and you have a good chance of getting him, get him. But if not, you don't really need to go out there and look for him because these guys are going to be fine. And for this particular team, we are very, very deep at the defensive line position. So, I mean, just look at them all. There's 2 seniors and they're all at defensive tackle. Like everybody else is in the 80s. And we outside linebackers. We got a freshman, a sophomore, and 1 senior. And then a senior, a sophomore, and a senior. So, well, this guy's a defensive end, so we might actually need to pick up a linebacker. But this is where that paper comes in handy that you can write down and say, okay, well, I got, so many seniors or whatever. And when you write that paper down, you want to make sure you're not doubling it up. So, like if Greenwood's like the backup outside linebacker, you don't want to jot him down twice. We do need 1 outside linebacker. Unless there's one of these other guys that... Now, this team is kind of unique in itself that one of these guys can probably be... We know Vaughn, he was a linebacker last year. So we know he can already play linebacker. And so you would make a note on a separate sheet or off to the side somewhere and go, okay, I need either a linebacker or I need a left end that can take Vaughn's place. Now, to find one that's already like an 84, you're probably not going to find that one. But you do still have this guy, which is pretty much, just as good, really. I mean, you could if you didn't get one, you could move Vaughn around. I mean, you guys are getting the picture. But it's kind of this kind of dedication that I do on my recruiting. But, I mean, you get the picture on what we need for these guys. I mean, you can just break it down more. Is there a corner? Do I have lots of cornerbacks that I can move one guy to a safety or one guy to a corner? And that's what you can do. So instead of saying, okay, I need a strong safety and go out there and look for a strong safety, you go out there and you're looking for a corner, a free safety, and a strong safety. Maybe the free safety, you're like, okay, his coverage is good enough. He can play corner. Or do we got a safety that his coverage isn't that good, but he can be a linebacker? First thing I do, I go to search, and it says we need all that stuff. Look at that. You're like, oh, my God, they sure need a strong safety, a linebacker, defensive tackle, a center, a tackle, a quarterback, and a kicker. Jesus Christmas, how am I going to find all those people? If you do those things, it'll be easy to find all those people. And really, we have 9 seniors starting. We don't need all those people. I mean, that's ridiculous. The game's fucking stupid. Okay, so the first thing you do, first question you ask yourself, who's interested in my school? Okay, you start right here. Start at like top 3 or top 5, either one of them. So start at like 3-star, go to who, and I'm even going to go, whoops, I don't want that. I want any. We're going to go top 3 schools. Who are the we're actually going to run this up here to like 4-star and up. Who are the blue chip recruits that want to come to my school? When you click the search. And you say, okay, there's 14 potentially blue chip players that want to come to my school. Let's see who they are. It loads it up and you say, okay, there's a 5-star athlete that I'm 3rd on the list. You hit Y and you go, okay, I'm only 140 back. You go over here to pitch info, A or A plus, A, and B minus. All right, those are pretty good. We'll go ahead and add him to the board. Another athlete, 78. Oh my gosh, we're first on the list. A plus B. Okay, we're going to get a lot of points on him. We're going to go ahead and add him to the board. Quarterbacks. What is he? We'll take a look at this, and we'll go to top schools. 124. We're going to go to skills. D. Sorry, sir. I don't want to fuck with you on the whole D. I don't even want to waste points on it right now. We needed a strong safety. Here's 2 of them. Okay, hard hitter. Let's go look at his stats. For me, I look at his stats. Man coverage B, zone coverage B. All right. I said, oops. And then go to pitch info. A plus, B plus. Okay, so it's like high on every single category. Let's go ahead and add him. Let's go to the next strong safety. B plus, A, C plus. Top schools. We're 105 back. And CCC on his coverage. So we go, okay, we're looking at the rest of his stats. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We don't really know that much. We'll go ahead and add him too. Defensive tackle. Sure, we're first on the list. Why not? We'll recruit him, see what it's all about. And then I kind of do that for the first page. We needed a center, we needed a tackle. We'll go ahead and add them too. No sense in looking at lineman stats all that much. I mean, you can go kind of break it down. We needed an outside linebacker. We'll go ahead and check him. And then we go over here. Who's first on the list? We have an outside linebacker who we're first on the list. Is 73 overall. Okay, I don't care if you're a 73 overall. What's your stats? Okay, you don't tackle that good, but you got great hit power, and you got great block shredding. Okay, fair enough. We're first on the list. Let's see what you're all about. You're 6'4", 240. You're a big dude. Middle linebacker, it said we needed some. Right, we needed some outside linebackers. I'll recruit a middle linebacker and put him at outside linebacker. We're already second on the list. Let's see what it's all about. He's a 73. His block shredding, play recognition. Okay, this guy's iffy. He's a 73, but he's a 4-star. We can spend some points and recruit and see what he's all about. And in the preseason, the only things that you do is you scout him. Okay, so we'll scout him right here. Roosevelt Covington. That's a $25 handle right there. We're going to recruit him. 81 overall and 98 speed. What's up, dude? You want to come to the team? And man coverage 85, zone coverage 88. That's a bad there you go. There's a strong safety. We are 100 points behind. We're going to mark him down on the list as a guy we're going to recruit. We're getting great points on him. 360. That's a lot. Man, 98 speed. We're going to put you back there with the other guy that's got 96 speed. And that's an elite free safety and strong safety because the coverage is nice. Okay. And okay, Nate Allen. We'll see what he's all about. We're going to recruit him for 50 points. 96 speed, 81 route running, great agility. His man coverage is 88. His zone coverage is 85. He's got great catching, great route running. And you can look at him and go, okay, he can be a wide receiver. He can be a secondary. 380. 2 people out of Ohio, of all the places. A+, we're getting 380 points on this guy. This is why, man, this Tennessee team is fixing to be badass because we're getting people that are crazy good. That's some crazy good speed. This 6'4", but the 81 route running, man. 96 speed at 6'4". Yeah, that's Calvin Johnson, man. All right, we go to the next guy. Looking pretty good so far. We've already recruited 2. We got a strong safety. Okay, what's his, let me see. Man coverage 70, zone coverage 71, but he's got good tackle, good hit power. His block shredding sucks. All right, so we're going to scout this next guy. Like I said, this video is going to be a little bit long, but I think this stuff's, okay. This got interrupted by this guy. Decent speed, great tackling, great hit power. The block shredding is a little lackluster. So we want to go down to the next guy, go back to the scouting. Scout this one here. Okay, he's a 78. Block shredding is not very good. His pursuit's okay. Play recognition's 82. He's a 78, but his power moves are really good, and his strength's really good. But that block shredding is really not all that good. So we might need to look for some more defensive tackles if we can help it. Okay, we got a center. We'll look at the center. Okay, well, this guy's a +3 as well. We had anybody that was negative yet? We had 1 person. Incredible. Usually it doesn't work out this good. Golly, this is some great people that are just interested in the school. This is not even having to go out and find anybody. Good Lord. All right, so Brad Carpenter, pass block, run block, impact blocking 79. He's got great strength. That's pretty decent lineman. I think we're the top school in him. No, we're getting 340 points. That's somebody we can go after. BJ Horn, we're going to click on him. Now he's a +2. Pretty good across the board. Good strength, good pass block, good run block, good impact blocking. Okay, so let's go on down to our outside linebacker. 76, okay, how's his speed? Decent for a linebacker. His coverage is exceptional zone coverage. That's really good. His block shredding is pretty damn good. Hit power is good. His tackling's not so good. But he's still, still a good player. And scout this guy here. The block shredding is really good on this guy. And his strength's really good. His hit power good. His tackling. 72, 71. Look, we got a middle linebacker here. He's the last person that's on the list. 86 guy's a +3. Decent speed for a linebacker. Great. Oh my God, 90 hit power, 80 tackling, and 75 block shredding. The man coverage, absolute booty. The zone coverage, absolute shit. And so the second thing that you do, you basically go down through that, go back to your search, and broaden it out a little bit. And say, okay, we want 3 stars, and we want interest in your school. And you say, okay, let's look at the top 5 schools that are a 3-star and above. Because there's some good players that are 3 stars. And once you start getting lower than that, it's not very good. And then you go back through it again. Okay, well, who's like 5th on the list that I can get? And you don't forget about some of these guys here that are 3 stars. We don't need any running backs. We're not going to worry about him. 63, 62, 65, 58, 57. Okay, those are not guys we're not going to worry about right now. You go on down your list, and you kind of see who you want. Here's an athlete that's a 62, 6'3". We're second on his list. Maybe. Okay, here's a kicker. All right, so add the kicker to the list. It doesn't really matter what his stats are all that much. We're only 105 back. Of course, you're going to be close right now. Kick power B, perfect. Okay, I'm going to go back and scout these guys real quick. I'm trying to cut this video down. I've been talking for way too long. We added 6 people. All right, so just to break it down, and now I can't remember who I done here. Do we have an outside linebacker, middle linebacker, TJ Fletcher? I think we did. The kicker. The kicker's a +6, +90. Perfect. Try to recruit the guy if you need a kicker. This tight end, -2. That's fine. 78's still good. What's he good at? Catching's a 78. Okay, his speed's not very good. Lenny High. This guy's throwing accuracy sucks. So if you can find somebody else, that'd be great. I'm probably going to kick him off the board. Darren King. He's a -9. Like, this dude's slow as shit, and he can't throw the ball. Like, you're not a quarterback. But Will Weber, he was a +2. He's got okay speed. He's a tight end. He's not going to be ate up with speed, but he's got great route running. And he blocks pretty decent. So this can be a guy, if you need a tight end, you can probably go after him. We don't really need any tight ends, but if it's easy to get him, you can go to top schools and go, okay, I'm only 210 back, making 300 points. We can see if we can get him, and it's like a rinse and repeat over and over again. This guy here, a tackle. Pass block, run block, impact blocking, great strength. Hey, looks like a great offensive lineman to me. The only other thing I do, make sure you use up all your recruiting points. Here's how I put these guys in order. I take all my linemen, and if you didn't know, you can hold down the right trigger. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry. Then you can place him right here. I don't care if it's in particular order. I just want all my linemen in one place. I want my safeties in one place. All my defensive tackles. There's one more somewhere. You can put your tight ends together. This guy here, you can go ahead and kick his ass off the board. Or if you want to, I wouldn't recruit that guy. Lenny's not very good. Lenny's gone. And so you got 200 points left. And basically go out there and find it. But we've pretty much got everything we needed. We've got some linemen. We got some really good linemen. They're 78, 78, 76. They're all good. We've filled a punter spot right here, if we can get him. Now this is going to change. It's going to be fluid if you can't get him. But that takes care of that spot. We got some linebackers. Any one of these people can probably play linebacker somewhere if we need him. But really, the meat and the potatoes of where you're at is these 4 guys right here. Now, if you got these 4 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's an improvement to any defense. I don't care what team you're on. Like, especially these 2 guys. My God, dude, to coverage and have, like, super elite speed, that's incredible, these 2 guys. I'm the only user they're interested in. This is the reason I don't show the recruiting. Because if I showed Roosevelt Carrington off at this speed, every single user you'd see next week, they'd be on this fucking board. But this is the reason you don't do that, and I don't show the recruiting. Now, this is going to be in the wrong place, but I realized that I left out a very important piece of information in the recruiting. Now, when you set up your recruiting board for the first time, it's very important to find the players that you need and find players that you think you have a really good chance of getting, like points-wise, like with a little bonus points, like plus 280 or plus 360 or whatever. Those are the guys you need to try to find in weeks 1, preseason, week 1, like week 2 at the very latest. And you say, oh, okay, that's fine. You got all these badass players that are interested in your school. What happens if I'm at a small school and there's nobody that's interested? Okay, that's why I left at this screen here. Go back to your search. Don't put any interest in your school, but say, okay, like, for instance, we really didn't find any good quarterbacks. So you go, I always put it at 3 for default. So minimum caliber 3. Quarterback. Hit search. Wait for your searches to come up. You go to them and go down the list. Like, all right, the number 1 quarterback in the country. He's not interested in our school at all. You click on him. You go to his, first off, you look at this and say, okay, the lowest school is about 500 points behind. You go to his skills. Okay, he's good accuracy. It says he's a scrambler. He's an 80 overall. Whatever. Okay. Go to pitch info. A plus, A minus. This is a guy we need to scout to see if we have a chance of catching up. Okay. Then you go down to Burton. Scrambler. B plus, B, A plus. Okay, could be iffy. Go to top schools. Okay, around 500 points as well that you're going to have to make up. Like, it's going to be an uphill climb, and there's a shit ton of users in there. So you're like, he might be iffy. B, and B for his basic running, throwing, and skills. So you say, okay, maybe I won't recruit him because I only have a few, recruiting stuff left. You got into Mitchell. Okay, look at him. B and C, throwing, and C speed. And you basically have to go down here, go to your pitch info, and go, okay, A, C, A plus. Okay, who's the top schools? There's a lot of schools there. 1 open spot. It's still about 500 behind. You go back and do your recruiting. You back out and keep doing your searches over and over again. Like, be patient and be diligent. That should probably be number 5 on the list of things, is be patient. You want to go over to we're already on scouting. Go down here. We want to look at this guy here. Let's see what we got. 200 points left. Let's see what he's got. A 96 speed. He's a set. Actually, his coverage is pretty damn good. This is another reason you don't show people stuff, because there's no users on there. And what's our bonus points? 365 points. That's what you look at. But this guy here turns out to be pretty damn good. That's some good coverage. You can probably redshirt him for a while, for 1 year, and let him roll. Man, elite speed in this freaking recruiting class. Crazy. All right, let's see what Chester Malone's about. 85 speed, 82, 96 throw accuracy. That's pretty damn good. Let's go to top schools. Okay, there's 2 users there. Bonus points, 315. All right, so you go to this athlete here. 95 speed. Oh my gosh, with the corners this year. 86 man coverage. Pretty good, man. What's his throwing accuracy? There's a quarterback right there. If you can't find the other ones, you can put him as a quarterback. 340, 335. And we're getting how much? 300. It might be an uphill climb for that guy. It just depends on how the computers want to recruit. But that's the other part. Use the search tool. I mean, this is a good board. We got everybody recruited, and we're pretty close to filling all the positions we need for next year. We don't really need as many as the computer thinks that we need, because we can move people around. And as long as everything goes okay, this team's fixing to get a hell of a lot. If you thought this team was going to be faster last year or this year, this team's going to be like Florida from like 2005 fast, like Urban Meyer's first national championship fast, where like everybody's got elite speed. But recruiting's something that I'm passionate about. But I appreciate everybody watching, and we'll see you the next recruiting episode.